Always know, sometimes think it's me, but you know I know when it's a dream. I think I know, I mean yes, but it's all wrong. That is, I think I disagree. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Field. Nothing is real and nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever. Strawberry fields forever. Strawberry fields forever.
Holy Heart of the universe, may we come into this time and space with an open heart and an open mind. May we allow the breath to create the space needed to center ourselves, to tap into source, to tap into love. And to grow that love and spread it beyond the boundaries of these four walls, beyond the boundaries of a city, and grow it to the point that we encompass all of humankind, all life, in gratitude and appreciation. And so it is.
It's August at Spiritual Soul Center. It's August in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's kind of like February in Minnesota. No one really wants to go out anywhere. We just want to stay home because it's cool, and it's just, you know, well, some of us. Renee and I. I'll just speak for me. Maybe you can relate to it. But even here at Spiritual Soul Center, we decided to slow down some. There's no kirtan this month. There's no healing night this month. There isn't any service project. There's no women's friendship lunch. We took the Salad Sunday thing down. Like, we're just taking a break. We're just slowing down for the month. And that's okay. You know, that's okay to do. So we made those decisions, and people were, it was the right thing. It was the vibration was, yes, let's slow down. For August. I mean, we're still here, we're still doing Sunday, we're still doing some things. But not everything. We've let some things go. So when I started thinking about that this week, as I was putting my message together, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about this week? I thought, well, maybe I should talk about that somehow. And that's kind of the way my messages come about. I start Monday in the chair, and I start kind of doodling or writing in my journal for a while, and then Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and it kind of comes about. And so that's what happened. Maybe I should do this message. And then on Thursday I was thinking, oh, I don't know if this is going to be enough. You know, maybe you probably just talked about this recently. And I looked back and I was like, oh, you did talk about taking a break at the beginning of the year. You know, maybe this isn't the right thing. And then, as often happens in my life, when I stay awake, things started to let me know that it was okay. So I go to work out to the gym at the Y on Friday. And I did my workout, and I'm waiting for Renee to finish her workout, and our neighbor Lois comes up and she says, I think I'm doing too much. She said, I went to this class, and I'm going to this. She said, I feel tired. I'm like, oh, you know, I was like, okay, maybe this message was okay. Well, I get home from working out in the morning and I go to my email. This stuff you cannot make up, I'm telling you. I go to my email and my friend Maggie, who is here part-time, who comes to Soul Center and is other part-time in New Jersey, sends me a message and the line is, in case you missed it, and it's a blog about, oh, August 15th is National Relaxation Day. I'm like, really? Okay, maybe you're onto something. No sooner than that happens, that afternoon, Renee's in her office across the hall from mine in our house. You know, we have both work at home. And she has been so excited about making camping reservations for Merle Fest in April. And she's like, okay, we got to get this campground. We got like, I sent an email, I haven't heard back. Like, what is going on what's the name of the place?
Moravian Falls.
Moravian Falls. What's happening in Moravian Falls? She finally gets through, talks to a person. The person's like, yeah, I got your message. I just haven't started working on Merle Fest yet. Maybe in October, but I have your information and I'll be sure to give you a call about availability and price. That's it. That's it. She got a long way, didn't she? So this idea of slowing down in Moravian Falls, they got it going on. At least this woman does. She has slowed down. She's not taking anything. Renee calling her did not mean a dang thing on that day. She was planning on doing it when she was planning on doing it, and not a month sooner. And not a month sooner. But here's the thing. It's completely natural to slow down. It's completely a natural thing. We cannot live with the same intensity of life all the time. I mean, we can, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting to live at that same intensity of life. It's like there is an advantage to second gear. Second gear. There's an advantage to gear. There's a reason there's more than one gear. You know, you throttle back a little bit. And when you throttle back a little bit, you see things that you couldn't see flying straight away. I was thinking of Tim and his motorcycle. You know, like when you are just down the road, man, it's exhilarating as heck. But it's not until you take your helmet off at the stop and go that you realize what you just came through. You know, it's different second gear and now. It's different. You know, and it's not that one is bad and one is good. It's different. There's a reason for second gear. There's a reason for second gear. But why do we try to push through everything? We try to push through everything. What is that about? Well, one reason is we get stuff done. I mean, when we push through, we get stuff done, and it feels good to get stuff done. So I say it feels good to get stuff done, and it feels good to rest too. It's both, again. It's both. It's not one or the other, like, you need to slow down. Well, it's good to speed up. It feels good on that motorcycle to be down there, throttle open. And it feels good to gear back too, especially if you're in a hairpin turn, right, Tim?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it does no good to be off the edge. Get off the edge without gearing down. There's a pro and a con. In other words, there's a consequence to living at full speed, and there's a consequence to living in second gear. Both. Okay? A consequence, meaning there's just a result of each one of those. There's a result of each one. So there's a tremendous freedom, though, in slowing down that's not available full throttle. There's a view of life that's totally different when you slow down. You see things you couldn't possibly have seen going full speed ahead. It's just the way it is. It carries a wider, easier, more open view. But we have a tendency to add more and more to life. Anybody have a to-do list? Anybody have more than one? You know, all these things to do, we keep adding to. And it's not that it's bad to have a to-do list. I love a to-do list. I have an old-time day timer. I'm an old person. I love it. I have my list. But the thing is, when we keep adding to that and not subtract anything from it, we get ourselves in tension. We get ourselves in trouble because we just add more and more and more because we can, because we want to, because another class would be great, because this person asked me this, and we just keep adding to it. And we cause that tension in ourselves. And what happens is we're not present for any of it. Because we're just, we're just here. Oh yeah, I'm done with this painting class. Now I'm meeting somebody for yoga, and then I have to go to lunch with. I mean, we're living past all of it. We're living past all of it if we're like that. It feels good to get things done, and it feels good to rest. It feels good to get things done, and it feels good to rest. We know this intuitively. We know this intuitively. How many times have you started to get spun up about something, you're like, wait a minute. All right? You've done it before, right? Wait a minute. Slow down. Take a breath. Wait a minute. We know that. Like intuitively, we know that. I'm not telling you anything brand new that you need to go out and buy a book about. I mean, you already know that. We even tell ourselves, sometimes, things just move so fast. Things move so fast. The older you get, let me tell you, it seems like it moves faster and faster. So we know that intuitively. We know it. So why do we keep doing it? Why do we want to keep going? I think we're afraid. We're afraid of slowing down. We're afraid somebody's going to pass us by. Somebody's going to get ahead. That we're going to miss something. That we're going to be judged for being lazy. That we're not strong enough to keep on keeping on. That we're the one left behind. We don't want to be that, do we? We don't want to be looked at that. We don't want to lose the job because someone else wanted to work 80 hours a week and we only wanted to work 60. We want to keep going because we're afraid of that. We're afraid of being judged. We're afraid ourselves. We make up a story about, if I slow down now, I'll never have enough. I got to work now because when I retire, I want to have this, this, and this. So I need to keep on keeping on now. And there's no choice. I think we're afraid. And that's why we don't want to slow down. That's why we don't want to slow down. But how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel always pushing through, pushing through, pushing through? How does it make you feel? Do you feel good about that? Because I think life is about feeling good. Not everything perfect, but feeling okay, feeling like, I don't need to be pushing like that. I don't want to feel that way. I want to feel more at ease. Do you know what is possible if you put some space in your life? Let's call it that. We're not even going to call it slowing down because it has its own connotation. What about if you just put some space in your life? Do you know what's possible if you put some space in your life? Clarity. Clarity is possible. If you are willing to put some space in your life, you will be clear about things. You will know something that you can't know when you are in first gear, when you are in top speed. You can't know it in top speed because you know what? Top speed is a blur. Top speed is a blur. Clarity comes from second gear. Clarity comes from second gear. Clarity will give you certainty inside when you are willing to create some space in your life. Not certainty about an outcome, not certainty that it's going to happen this way, but confidence inside that I'll know what to do and how to be. If you create some space in your life. The gift is clarity. The gift is clarity. A sense, a lightness, an understanding that you couldn't have when you were going full speed. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Isn't that what you want? Clarity about things, confidence about things, freedom from doubt, a keen awareness of what to do and how to do it. Wouldn't that be great? All the time? Second gear, my friends, second gear. We don't get it in the blur. It's impossible to have in the blur. You know what? You don't have to be tossed around by life. You don't have to be tossed around by life. You get to choose the gear. It's your motorcycle, it's your moped, it's your bicycle, it's your car. You get to choose the speed. It's your choice. Here's something else that happens with creating space in your life. Joy happens. And then I thought, well, is it really joy? I think creating space for me allows there to be room for gratitude. That's when gratitude comes up for me. Like, when I'm going full speed ahead, like I'm in the experience of it, but I don't recognize the feeling of gratitude. This immense, deep satisfaction comes in creating, in leaving space. I was thinking about the Olympic athletes that just came back from Paris, all over the world, right? They had this Olympic experience. How many of them do you think went home and said, God, when I was there, it was wonderful, but I didn't really realize what that experience was about till I got back home? Right? When you have some space. When you're in it, it's this intensity, and I can only imagine what it's like to be an Olympic athlete, a world athlete, whether you win a medal or not. To have that experience and have that intensity, and then to come home and go, oh my gosh, that was that experience. It was amazing. Or whatever their experience, whatever words they put to it. But that's what happens when you create the space in your life for it. Or if they come home and just keep training and going on to the next Olympics, did they really have that experience? Are they really able to understand that? When I was in high school long ago, one of my friends that I ran track with was in a car accident and died the day before the last day of school. Wow. The day before the last day. Her name was Janice Gordon. And it ruined me. I think I have about 4 signatures in my high school yearbook. After graduation, I just went home. I didn't hang out with my friends. I didn't go anywhere. I was just distraught about that. I didn't know how to process it. I was, 17 years old or 18, whatever age that is, and I was distraught. And I realized, thinking about this, that I never experienced the joy and the deep satisfaction of graduating from high school. Just never had it. Didn't know, but today I can say I never had that. Because I didn't create a space for it. I was off in my grief. Maybe I was creating space for that. Maybe I was just like ignoring it all and thinking, when can I go to college and get out of town? I don't know for sure. But I know for sure that I did not experience a joyful and deep satisfaction in having graduated from high school. Yeah? Here's one other thing that comes when we create space in our life, and that is healing. Space in our life allows healing to happen. Think about this. When someone dear to you dies, maybe it's a partner, maybe it's a good friend, whoever it is that dies, very close to you, and there's all this activity, your parents, there's all this activity, all these things to take care of, all the people to call, people coming from out of town, the service, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. There's all this activity. It's full speed ahead, right? It's full speed ahead. And then the day comes when everybody leaves and everybody's back and things are quiet. And it's then that you have the opportunity to grieve and to find the new paradigm for living that you couldn't find when everybody was there, right? Or some of us just keep on keeping on, and then we bury that thing, and it's still there. But if we create space for it, we have a chance to come through and feel wholeness again. You recognize that, right? Creating the space for wholeness. Creating the space for wholeness. Creating a space that allows me to consider the impact, whether it's the Olympic game and the deep satisfaction that comes with that, or room for grief, room for hurt, room for healing that allows me to feel whole. So clarity, deep understanding, and wholeness, I think, are the things that could come from creating space in my life. Creating space in my life. So, that's how far I got, and then I thought, well, what else is there? Like, I like to talk about too, like, what do you do? So what do you do? Like, to be aware of this, I think, is really important. But also, I think there's a practice that we can use to help us practice creating space. And that practice is prayer. And some of you are going to be like, oh, prayer, what's he talking about? Because most people think about prayer as asking a God somewhere, sitting on a cloud, on a throne, with a big robe and a gold G, that's going to somehow sweep in and make everything okay. That's what we want, right? Somebody says, pray for me, I'm having a surgery. And so you're like, okay, I hope your surgery goes well. And in the Christian tradition, that is not how prayer was taught. I'll say that again, and it's my opinion. In the Christian tradition, that is not how Jesus taught his disciples to pray. It is not about asking someone somewhere to make it all okay. What prayer is about is aligning my consciousness with the truth of my own being. It's about aligning myself with the divine. It's about surrendering and trusting in something I can't see that brings me into a different place. Not the thing, but me. It brings me into a different place. And that is totally opposite how prayer is taught, I know, in the Christian tradition, because it's taught about prayer changes this out here. If I pray hard enough, then this out here will be okay. And I like to say, of all the people who have prayed for peace in the world, why isn't it any closer? I'm saying that's not the way it works. The evidence to me is that's not the way it works. That it's about changing me. It's more like what Mahatma Gandhi says, be the peace you want to see. That's what prayer is about, to be the peace. So for our meditation today, I'm going to ask Nate to come up. He's going to play behind me, but I'm going to lead us through a prayer that is indicated in the Bible as the Lord's Prayer. You will not recognize any of these words from any Christian Bible that you have read before. I got these words from a man called Neil Douglas Klotz, who divined these prayers using the original Aramaic language that Jesus spoke and understanding the complex meanings of those words to bring them into closer alignment with what this master teacher might have been trying to tell us. And interestingly enough, in the book, he doesn't just have like one interpretation of each line. He has about 8 or 9. So I've picked one for each of those, because you know what? He wasn't sure either. We're so sure, well, that's the prayer. What about if we weren't sure? And what about if we use this prayer as I'm going to recite for you while we have this time today, to create some space. To create some space and to trust. So I invite you to get comfortable. Take a deep breath in. Maybe another deep breath, and get comfortable exactly where you are. Release the tension that you might be holding in your face and your cheeks, around your eyes. Drop your shoulders. Let your hands rest in your lap. Feel that chair underneath you. Feel your legs relax all the way down to your feet, through your knees. And just become still in this moment. And just maybe, this is what Jesus said when he was trying to teach his followers how to pray. O birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos, you create all that moves in light. Help me let go. Clear the space inside of busy forgetfulness so that the name, the divine, comes to live in me. Let your counsel rule my life, uniting me with your wisdom. Help me love beyond my ideals and sprout acts of compassion for all creatures. grant what I need each day in bread and insight. Loose the cords of mistakes binding me as I release the strands I hold of others' guilt. Don't let surface things delude me, but free me from what holds me back. Out of you, the vital life force, producing and sustaining all life and every virtue, I surrender. And amen.
All the shame falls away, falls away. You are worthy and deserving to be here. So don't give up. You're needed. Stand up when you feel defeated. You are made up to walk through the flames and come out okay. Hold all the joy in life is minus the pain.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. See you next week.